They sent her away as a servant. The widowed mountain man fell in love. They sent her away on a morning that smelled of rain and cold metal. The iron gate closed behind her with a sound that felt final, like a chapter torn from a book and thrown into fire. A single cloth bag hung from her shoulder, light enough to prove how little she was allowed to take from a life that had never truly been hers. She did not cry. Tears had long ago learned there was no place to fall. Her name was Eliza, though in that house she had been called girl, maid, and sometimes worse. After her parents died, the relatives who took her in treated kindness like a loan that collected interest daily. When whispers began, about her presence being a burden, about mouths to feed and reputations to protect, they decided to send her away. A position had been arranged, they said. A servant job in the mountains. Remote, isolated, perfect for someone who should not be seen. The journey took 2 days by wagon and 1 long climb on foot. Pines crowded the path, their branches heavy with mist. The cabin appeared suddenly, as if the mountain itself had decided to reveal a secret. It was sturdy and quiet, smoke rising from a stone chimney. A man stood at the door, tall and broad-shouldered, his hair touched with early gray. His eyes were watchful but not unkind. "I'm Jonah," he said simply. "You must be Eliza." That was all. No questions about her past. No judgment. He took her bag and set it inside, pointing to a small room with a narrow bed and a window facing the trees. "You'll be safe here," he added, as if it were a fact, not a promise. Jonah was a widower. The mountain people knew that much. His wife had died years ago in a winter fever that came fast and left nothing behind but silence. Since then, he lived alone, trapping, hunting, and selling timber when he needed coin. He needed help, he said. Cooking, cleaning, someone to keep the cabin from feeling like a tomb. Eliza worked hard, not because she was ordered to, but because work had always been her shield. She rose before dawn, learned the rhythm of the cabin, the way Jonah preferred his bread thick and his coffee strong. He paid her fairly and spoke to her with a respect she did not know how to receive. Some evenings they ate together in quiet, the fire snapping between them like a cautious witness. Weeks passed. Snow dusted the ground. The mountain changed colors, then moods. Eliza discovered she could breathe here. No whispers followed her steps. No eyes weighed her worth. At night, she read by lamplight, the words warming her hands. Jonah noticed small things. The way she hummed while kneading dough. How she paused to watch the deer at the tree line, as if afraid to scare beauty away. He told himself his interest was nothing more than gratitude. She was young, he was older. A man with grief stitched into his bones had no right to imagine more. Then winter came hard. A storm trapped them inside for days. Wind clawed at the walls. Snow buried the path. On the third night, the roof groaned under the weight, and Jonah climbed up to clear it. He slipped. The fall was short but cruel. Eliza found him in the snow, blood dark against white, breath shallow. She dragged him inside, fought panic, and remembered every small lesson the mountain women had taught her when she visited the village. She cleaned the wound, bound his leg, fed him broth by the spoon. Jonah drifted in and out of fever, calling a name that was not hers. She did not take offense. Love, she was learning, could exist without ownership. When he woke fully, days later, he found her asleep in the chair beside his bed, her head resting on folded arms. Something in his chest shifted, slow and terrifying. "You saved my life," he said. She smiled softly. "You would have done the same." Spring crept back like a careful apology. Jonah healed. The mountain breathed again, and something unspoken settled between them, heavier than silence but warmer too. He began to teach her the land, how to read tracks, how to tell when a storm was lying. She taught him songs her mother once sang, quiet melodies that filled the cabin without demanding anything in return. One evening, as the sun bled gold over the peaks, Jonah spoke. "You don't have to stay," he said. "If you want a different life, I can help you get it." Eliza looked at the cabin, the trees, the man who had never once reminded her she was sent away. "I know," she answered. "But I choose this." He took her hand, rough and unsure. Love did not arrive like thunder. It came like thawing ground, patient and inevitable. Two people, discarded by different losses, finding shelter in each other. They married quietly before summer's end. No grand witnesses, just the mountain, the sky, and a future neither of them had dared to imagine. She had been sent away as a servant. She stayed as a partner. And the widowed mountain man, who thought his heart was buried with the past, learned that love sometimes waits in the most unlikely places, steady, enduring, and strong as stone.